I've got some more bangers coming through in a bit, but right now we have our power player of the evening, manze. Nelly Liwa show you guys. We're going to be hanging out with the president, not Prezo, not President William Ruto. Yeah, not Rao. Okay, you know Rao is the president of the people. This one over here is called Saul Ongalo. He's the president of Mercedes-Benz Club of Kenya. And guys, remember you can stream live the conversation on www.spicefm.co.ke. Saul, karibu sana Spice FM.
Asante sana.
How was your day, my guy?
Awesome. Just a busy day.
Very busy is good.
Oh, yeah.
Busy is good, Maze. So this is such an amazing title. President of the Mercedes-Benz Club of Kenya. In a sound fiti sana. So talk to us about what exactly your role as a president entails.
Oh, thanks a lot, guys. Mm-hmm. It's a big role, just as it's coming out as a president. I preside over the club.
Yeah.
Supported by a committee of 8 other people, where we run this amazing club in terms of our programs, from start to finish. In terms of we have our elections twice a year. Then we start running our calendars.
Nice.
And there's a crazy calendar. When you look at it, there's a lot that is happening.
Yeah.
From social event, business networking activities, a big CSR program. So this is a role that is recognized by the government, because the Mercedes-Benz Club is registered as a society.
Yeah.
And so there is a heavy responsibility in terms of accountability, in terms of policy, in terms of strategy for the club. And it's more or less like another job.
I can imagine. but what does the club stand for? What do you guys do exactly?
Mercedes-Benz Club of Kenya is a community that brings together Mercedes owners. Very important that this is a club that is accredited by Mercedes in Germany. It's the second club in Africa to be accredited after South Africa.
Wow.
So we come together to mobilize for our members in terms of resources to do CSR together.
Yeah.
It's a community that comes together to assist our members on technical aspects of their cars. So how does that happen? We form partnerships with different players or corporates out there.
Right.
Like parts shops like Compressor, Sifao, Rubies, we have a fantastic fuel card program with that gives our members 2 shillings off
Nice.
the pump price. Then there's a big business networking and forum. So our members are doing business amongst themselves.
Oh, yeah, awesome. Yeah.
Then we also have the social aspect.
Right.
We have a lounge in Kilimani. So where this is a place where we connect.
So this is like a members only lounge?
Not specifically, but members there get discounts and benefits from going to this particular facility. Very important. As a club also, we get to visit Germany. We've done that 5 times. We were there in October. We'll be going back to Germany in July. And also Alabama, the US.
Nice.
So all those activities happen within this particular club.
Yeah.
So we come together. It's an exclusive club in the sense that you pay subscription to join this particular club. So we have over 200 paid up members, and there's an annual subscription for the same. Yeah. Very important. This club, there are 62 clubs globally, but Kenya is the only chapter that has a CSR program.
Wow.
2024, we did about 70,000 euros.
Yeah.
That's supporting a chemotherapy unit in Coast General Hospital. 2023, 30,000 euros supporting the oncology unit in KNH. This year we'll be going to Mbagathi Hospital. That is in October.
Right.
So our CSR largely is focusing around cancer awareness. But also there is a school in Taita that we are doing their wash in terms of their water and sanitation.
Right.
So it's a 360 connection to the community.
Yeah.
Because when you look at the logo of the star,
yeah,
it signifies dominance on land, on air, and sea.
So you guys are very dominant.
That's true.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay, JP.
So, like, what does it take? You mentioned subscription fee, but what else does it take to be, a member? I don't have a Benzo, so can I just come and, register with you guys?
First thing is you need to own a Benz because the content all revolves around the cars primarily. So when guys will be talking about, say, a C-Class, W205, W204, if you are not in that frame, you definitely will be lost.
Correct.
But we have corporate partners. These are entities that have interest in the business in terms of motoring, like Rubies, like Continental Tires, and so many others. So they come and join us as corporates. They may not necessarily be interested in the brand itself or the details, but in connecting with the motorist.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's essential. You need to have the mark.
Right.
Okay, so let's break it down. What does it take to actually run a club in Kenya? Not just any club, by the way, a car club. Yeah.
Okay, there are different types of clubs, and ordinarily they start in the same way. A few guys start meeting somewhere, and they maybe in a garage somewhere, and then they decide, okay, can we form a WhatsApp group? Slowly, you interest many other people.
Yeah.
That's why you'll see the different club, Mercedes, BMW, Audi, Subaru, then other smaller clubs like Demios, Vitz, depending on the numbers.
True.
Now, it starts that way. Then you find that guys now have an issue of how do we govern ourselves. They start setting up structures and certain policies. Majority of them are not registered as entities. Majority of them revolve around an individual. Like ours also started around individuals. But when we set up the structure, we registered it, and then a constitution was set up. A management structure came up. And because now guys are paying subscription, they have to have a say on how their money is spent. That's when the elections start happening.
Right.
So you find other clubs hold elections annually. Ours it's biannually because these programs are not easy to put in place if you are changing your structures or leadership every so often. Now that is governance. Now we have funds. How do you run the programs of the club? Subscription, but partners also come in a big way. For CSR, our subscriptions cannot run those programs. So we'll drive, say, go to Namanga, identify a school, say, around Bisil. We'll take pads, we'll take books, we'll take shoes, and all those. That is stuff that we mobilized amongst ourselves and our partners.
Yeah.
Critical. Some clubs, like ours and I think Alfa Romeo, they also do financial audits. Majority of the clubs are not there yet. But my Mercedes-Benz club is quite mature towards this end. But very important, to run a club, you need accreditation by the mother. Like if it is Subaru, you need Subaru to accredit you. Many clubs, majority of the clubs have not managed to be accredited. Mercedes, we are. That's why we have access to the Mercedes-Benz Museum in Germany, free of charge.
Yeah.
We access the plants in Germany, free of charge. And we are taken around. We go and see the technology. We see what's happening in these particular plants. So there's a lot that goes to be able to run a motoring club. And primarily is to keep guys on the road. It's a community that is supposed to support the brand owners. So many of these other things are revolving just that, a community to support the interests of the owners of the cars.
Let me ask you something. So, what is the importance of collaboration between other car clubs, especially from a Mercedes perspective?
Critical. Let me talk about the German models. So we have something we call a German affair. German affair brings together Mercedes, the Audis, BMW, and so much so. all the German brands. So what unites us is our origin. That's why in Mercedes-Benz Club we call it the pilgrimage when we go back to Germany. So we go there. So we share a lot in terms of technology, in terms of experiences, and also we own cars across the different models.
Of course.
So when you collaborate, it gives you the support that you require. One, as an owner across the vast models, but also. Some of the projects and programs that we have might be quite big. So this collaboration will be useful to be able to mobilize ideas and funds for these particular projects.
Great.
But the rivalry notwithstanding.
I'm sure there is. Talk about that.
Rivalry notwithstanding.
Who's your biggest rival?
That is the BMW, definitely.
Has to be.
Yeah. We call them the check engine. But that's the banter. Check engine in the sense that we believe that our car, the Mercedes, is most superior. We can drive, and we've done a 24-hour challenge, Nairobi to Marsabit and back.
Jeez.
Even in a 1971 Mercedes, it did that. It didn't break down.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why we laugh around and tease the BMW guys and tell them, you guys are check engine people. But definitely it's just banter and it's just good fun also.
Right.
But we spend a lot of time together as a community too.
Yeah.
Have you had a challenge between them where you organize a race or something and you see which club can get there before the other?
That would be cool.
We did one some time back, a drive with the BMW guys around Kitui back to Nairobi. And true to their word, quite a number of them came back on flatbeds. So we keep laughing at that. Yeah, but
Yes. So what are some of the values that your club stands by? Like, let's say that this is just distinct. This is the Mercedes Club of Kenya. This is how we operate. Some of the values that you really find enriching in your club.
very crucial is there's honesty, right? How do we, because it's a close-knit community. So the moment you start having over 200 guys meeting every so often, when you look at our calendar, it's quite rich. We start doing business together. So critical, we need to trust each other.
Yeah.
So honesty is crucial. In the sense that not just doing business together, the information that we share. If you have an experience with a car, it's not bad. Just bring it out, share with the guys so that they can learn from that and be able to not face the same challenge in the same way. That learning curve you'll have sorted out for them. The other thing is I say that's commitment to the brand and the brand values. As a club, even our logo is a logo that was designed and given to us by Mercedes. All our branding has to be approved by Mercedes because we are projecting their brand out there. Even our hashtags, even the kind of photos that we take, being a motoring club, we are big against, say, drink driving. So we are not supposed to project that alcohol and so much so in terms of in our socials, in a promotional aspect. So those amongst other considerations, yeah, honesty, brand, value, and then commitment to the community. Because we have a program called Star in the Wild. In DEC, when guys are there in Shags, Star in the village. When guys go to Shags, we inspire the community. When that Benzo drives in the village, there's a kid there who says, one day I'm going to drive a Mercedes. And that is even how we came to get attracted and attached to this brand.
Yeah.
So when we are going out there, we are breathing optimism that you can make it. You get? So we are not just driving there proudly, but we are going to impact the society.
On that point, by the way, are the younger members more active when it comes to club engagements? Or it's just for the older folks?
That's a very good question. We have a working group amongst the 62 global presidents. And this is a working group that is looking at the question of membership and diversity. How did it come up? In October, we were having a conference in Germany for presidents, and I was sharing our Kenyan experience. Majority of the clubs, the average age is 60 globally. Kenya is 35.
Oh, interesting.
Then a majority of the clubs, say 0.003% are ladies and youth. But Kenya is different. 43% are ladies. Yeah?
Wow.
Good stuff.
So it's crazy. That's why we have She's Mercedes chapter. And She's Mercedes comes to address the needs of the female, how they want to connect amongst themselves and how they want to connect with the brand and how they want also to find their space in a so-called men's world. So I may say we are young in terms of age. So majority of the guys are young and enthusiastic. You call a drive, we've done a drive to Kigali. Guys will be there. We did 40 cars going to Kigali.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
By the way, you mentioned how in other countries it's purely men who are mostly involved. Why do you think it's such a patriarch, engagement? Why do you think women aren't really involved in, car club culture?
I think it's just how this they are formed. When you go, say, to Germany, the S-Class is a car that is owned by the wealthy guys and retired people. So, like when we go to buy our parts, say in a junkyard in Germany, and then you mention you have an S-Class, they are shocked. How can a young person like you own an S-Class?
Wow.
So, the Mercedes is like a statement of I've made it, and I'm buying myself a gift at a certain age. That's why you'll find majority of those guys are older people.
Yeah.
And then classic enthusiasts, guys who want to restore cars.
Mm-hmm.
But now, you find Kenya is different. Our members have the newest of models.
Mm-hmm.
And even the question of diversity comes there because they were asking us, how do you guys manage to understand and support all these new models? I was walking in Germany on the streets with the president from New South Wales. Then we were talking about a 213, the latest E-Class. He had no clue of what it is, how it works, because they've closed up their mind, they're classic guys, and that is it.
Mm.
So it's so dynamic. For Kenya, that is the challenge that we have. How do we support these guys with new information on new technology happening in these cars?
I wanted to ask, so is it true, like through history, that Kenya is one of the biggest consumers of Mercedes-Benz in Africa, for that matter? I read somewhere in an article some time back, especially I think during the Moi era or something, that Kenya and Mercedes, the consumership is crazy.
Yeah, Mercedes is a big brand in Kenya.
Mm-hmm.
And historically, it's been associated with the high and mighty and a statement of success.
Correct.
So, but I may also plug in a little bit. When you go around the streets of Nairobi, you will see old Benzes. What does it say about the longevity of the brand?
True.
You will hardly see very many old, say, Volvos and old, say, BMWs and others, because the support of these particular brands is not easy. Mercedes, in Germany, they've set up a new company called Mercedes Heritage that is going to take care of the parts, reproduce parts for all the models that they've ever manufactured.
Wow.
And that company will handle all the cars 15 years and older. This is because when the executives of Mercedes go to, for example, to Congo, they see an old Mercedes battered truck still running. So they are like, the brand heritage is the future, so we have to ensure that the brand survives.
I want to jump on that. Heritage is the future. That's interesting. Historically, what are some of the biggest challenges that the Mercedes club has gone through, and how did you navigate those challenges?
First challenge was the question of when you go to the dealer, say Sifao, and those days it was DT Dobby, they will not touch an imported car. They will only prefer to work on the local cars that they've sold. But how have we solved that? And this is a fantastic thing that Mercedes did. From last year, we've seen Sifao accepting all models, whether sold locally or imported. And there's a question of recalls. Because these cars will leave the plant with a defective part here and there. But Mercedes comes out and issues a recall and says, W204 airbags from a certain year, they were defective, so we are replacing them for free. It never used to happen. Kenya now, it is happening. You can take your Mercedes to Sifao. If they identify it as an active recall, you will get the parts and services free of charge. These are parts that will cost 300, 400,000. So that was a big thing for us, a big challenge of how do you get the recall honored amongst other challenges. Then obviously, Kenya is a dynamic society. So when people are together, you'll have leadership challenges. That is normal. These leadership challenges come up. That's why we set up a very robust constitution and code of conduct to help us now manage ourselves. So the question of leadership more or less was straightened, because it's now clear what a president, the criteria of being a president, how you can be a president, what you're allowed to do, what you're not allowed to do, and then how do you connect with government. And very important, that also helped us to have a relationship with the German embassy. So you are from Mercedes-Benz Club, you want to go to Germany on a trip. Guys queue for visas 21 days and so much so, but with our club, less than, say, 72 hours, you've got your visas.
Good stuff.
So those are some of the challenges that we've sorted all along the way. But new ones, I imagine. So I
can imagine.
What are your favorite Mercedes brands? Let's mention three. I don't mind if it's from the old, type, and now maybe just three brands that you feel like these are the ones that I really love.
Models.
Yeah, models.
1 to 6, W1 to 6. That is the older S classes from the early, from the mid 80s to the early 90s. That was a fantastic car. Another one that I love is an S class W220. Those ones were from around the 1999 up to 2007 thereabout. And then the GLS. GLS for me, that is the 4x4. It is a statement of pure success because it mirrors the S class, but in an SUV form. So those are my favorite of the Benz models.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So say something happens within the committee and one of them breaks the rules. What's the process of kicking someone out of the club?
There is a disciplinary committee, and this disciplinary committee is chaired by a former president. And the current committee is not represented as such in that committee. So that if, for example, it's a president who's messed up, he has no influence of what that committee will do. So there will be a written complaint to the committee. Someone will be given an opportunity to give their side of the story. Then that committee will make a decision on the disciplinary aspect. If it is grave, then the guy will be expelled from the club. But having been given an opportunity to also give their side of the story. And those are very, very rare occasions. Once in a while it's happened. you go against the code of conduct, then definitely, and you are called to the disciplinary committee, you don't show up, then we exit you from the club.
By the way, when it comes to membership, say my folks were members of the club, and now I'm a young one, and the folks are no longer there. Do I naturally take after the membership as well? Am I naturally also, do I just become a member, simply because my folks are also there, and our family is just purely, we are on the benzos? Yeah.
Now,
do I also have to apply?
Yeah, you have to apply.
Oh, I'm not naturalized?
No, not automatic. The only thing that we have that is automatic is a spousal membership.
Oh, okay.
These now our spouses, be the chick or the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You may bring in your husband, and you're the Mercedes owner, and you're the chick. So he becomes the spousal member. The only thing he can do is vote. So spouses, that is automatic. But with kids, that one now you have to apply.
You have to apply.
But you can inherit the Benz from your dad and apply.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
What do you see the future of the vehicle clubs in the country looking like, especially from a Mercedes perspective? What are some of the trends you're looking forward to?
That is going regional. Because we have members, say, in Mombasa, others are in Kisumu, others are in the Mlima. So guys are asking themselves, so how do we participate in this particular club activities? And they're all revolving mainly around the city. So, like from a Mercedes perspective, we are seeing those chapters coming up.
Sugar and spice and everything nice. Sugar and spice and everything nice.
So that they can keep going and they can get the same benefits that the rest of the people are getting in Nairobi.
Right.
Then there will be another cluster in Nyanza, through Kisumu, because that is more or less the hub.
Right.
And then one in central Kenya. So guys now will be going that direction. The other clubs, I'm seeing them now structuring in terms of being registered as a society, as the register of societies, starting to follow the path of Mercedes. Ours is more of a growth. And next is we'll be looking at how do we support other countries, like say Uganda, structuring their club and gaining accreditation. Because we've been accredited forever and we don't want it to be exclusive to us. We need to be able to mentor another country to get accreditation.
Yeah. Right, I'm seeing lots of events. We can't even go through all these events that you guys have in your calendar.
Man, that calendar's looking awesome.
Yeah,
That's why I can't wait for this partnership.
Yeah, man. I just exactly. I just wanted to maybe you could mention the upcoming event that's a Classic Jamboree Classics. Maybe you can tell us about that. And then I also see something here, Mark in the Wild.
There's the Concord Elegance.
The Concord Elegance, which we cannot forget in October. In September. Yeah, maybe just mention what these events are coming all about.
Classic Jamboree is going to happen on the 29th of this month. And we'll be bringing out our classics, our vintage Macs, to drive them around the city, expose them to guys. Guys will have photo ops with them, and then we'll do drives around the highways and probably just end up in a spot.
Yeah.
In a spot where guys now will be able to socialize. And now the young people and the other people will have access to these cars and look, just to feel and see and feel the build of these particular cars. We have some cars, 1969 cars, that you will never get access to them. But in that Classic Jamboree, the public and other people will have access to these particular vehicles. The other one, Mark in the Wild, that is, we take our cars into the national park. What we are saying is the Mercedes can handle any terrain. And, Kenya and Nairobi is the only city with a national park. So as a club, we are also projecting that image of Kenya in the wild.
Yeah.
It happened. Kenya, the Mercedes-Benz Club, featured in a global Mercedes Classics magazine. South Africa guys nearly killed us. They are 52 years and they've never featured there.
Wow.
But we took these guys to the wild, in the national park, in Naivasha, driving our Benzos in the dust, in the rough terrains, just to project that these cars can handle this. But also promoting our country.
Right.
That's the tourism aspect. Concours Elegance, definitely. We are there. We are part of the motoring club community. So we cannot fail to be represented. We have our members who are fielding their cars. In the past, we've had a runners-up position. Hopefully this year we'll have a Benzo taking it up. Yeah,
that's amazing. What would be your advice to young car enthusiasts who are just getting started in this journey for vehicles and car clubs, I guess?
It's not good to reinvent the wheel. Identify a club, because we have a lot of offshoots. And these offshoots do not present value. Find a stable club, a recognized and registered entity that has the right structures, where you can thrive. And jump in and learn. Just take time, learn. Connect with people. Because I know young guys will come with their own ideas, but it's been done before. So just come in, learn, and then you'll get your space to breathe, or to flourish in that community.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And for those ones who want to join in, what's the subscription price?
First year membership application is 15,000. And then when you pay, we have a session, we call it a vetting session, where we meet with the applicants to ensure there's a meeting of minds, in the sense that is it the right place for you, and are you the right fit in the community? Because you could be joining this club thinking that you'll be given a free Benz, and that is not there. So when you realize it's not there, then you start bad-mouthing the club. So we have those sessions. If we find that you're not the correct fit, we refund your money, 15,000 back, and we shake hands and say, okay. So
it was nice seeing you.
Yo, that's interesting. What would make one not the right fit? Like, just